immediately after the treaty shall have been duly ratified by the government of the Mexican Republic, the sum of $3 million shall be paid to the said government by that of the United States at the City of Mexico in the gold or silver coin of Mexico. The remaining $12 million shall be paid at the same place and in the same coin in annual installments of $3 million each, together with interest on the same at the rate of 6% per annum. This interest shall begin to run upon the whole sum of $12 million from the day of the ratification of the present treaty by the Mexican government, and the first of the installments shall be paid at the expiration of 1 year from the same day, together with each annual installment as it falls due. The whole interest accruing on such installment from the beginning shall also be paid. Article 13. The United States engage, moreover, to assume and pay to the claimants all the amounts now due them, and that hereafter to become due, by reason of the claims already liquidated and decided against the Mexican Republic under the conventions between the two republics severally concluded on the 11th day of April, 1839, and on the 30th day of January, 1843, so that the Mexican Republic shall be absolutely exempt, for the future, from all expense whatever on account of the said claims. Article 14. The United States does furthermore discharge the Mexican Republic from all claims of citizens of the United States, not heretofore decided against the Mexican government, which may have arisen previously to the date of the signature of this treaty, which discharge shall be final and perpetual, whether the said claims be rejected or be allowed by the Board of Commissioners provided for in the following article, and whatever shall be the total amount of those allowed. Article 15. The United States, exonerating Mexico from all demands on account of the claims of their citizens mentioned in the preceding article, and considering them entirely and forever cancelled, whatever their amount may be, undertake to make satisfaction for the same, to an amount not exceeding $3.25 million, to ascertain the validity and amount of those claims. A Board of Commissioners shall be established by the government of the United States, whose awards shall be final and conclusive, provided that, in deciding upon the validity of each claim, the board shall be guided and governed by the principles and rules of decision prescribed by the first and fifth articles of the unratified convention, concluded at the City of Mexico on the 20th day of November, 1843. And in no case shall an award be made in favor of any claim not embraced by these principles and rules, if, in the opinion of the said Board of Commissioners, or of the claimants, any books, records, or documents, in the possession or power of the government of the Mexican Republic, shall be deemed necessary to the just decision of any claim, the commissioners, or the claimants through them, shall, within such period as Congress may designate, make an application in writing for the same, addressed to the Mexican Minister of Foreign Affairs, to be transmitted by the Secretary of State of the United States. And the Mexican government engages, at the earliest possible moment after the receipt of such demand, to cause any of the books, records, or documents so specified, which shall be in their possession or power, or authenticated copies or extracts of the same, to be transmitted to the said Secretary of State, who shall immediately deliver them over to the said Board of Commissioners, provided that no such application shall be made by or at the instance of any claimant, until the facts which it is expected to prove by such books, records, or documents, shall have been stated under oath or affirmation. Article 16. Each of the contracting parties reserves to itself the entire right to fortify whatever point within its territory it may judge proper so to fortify for its security. Article 17. The Treaty of Amity, Commerce, and Navigation, concluded at the City of Mexico on the 5th day of April, A.D. 1831, between the United States of America and the United Mexican States, except the additional article, and except so far as the stipulations of the said treaty may be incompatible with any stipulation contained in the present treaty, is hereby revived for the period of 8 years from the day of the exchange of ratifications of this treaty, with the same force and virtue as if incorporated therein, it being understood that each of the contracting parties reserves to itself the right at any time after the said period of 8 years shall have expired, to terminate the same by giving 1 year's notice of such intention to the other party. Article 18. All supplies whatever for troops of the United States and Mexico arriving at ports in the occupation of such troops previous to the final evacuation thereof, although subsequently to the restoration of the custom houses at such ports, shall be entirely exempt from duties and charges of any kind, the government of the United States hereby engaging and pledging its faith to establish and vigilantly to enforce all possible guards for securing the revenue of Mexico by preventing the importation, under cover of this stipulation, of any articles other than such, both in kind and in quantity, as shall really be wanted for the use and consumption of the forces of the United States during the time they may remain in Mexico. To the send it shall be the duty of all officers and agents of the United States to denounce to the Mexican authorities at the respective ports any attempts at a fraudulent abuse of this stipulation, which they may know of, or may have reason to suspect, and to give to such authorities all the aid in their power with regard thereto, and every such attempt, when duly proved and established by sentence of a competent tribunal, they shall be punished by the confiscation of the property so attempted to be fraudulently introduced. Article 19. With respect to all merchandise, effects, and property whatsoever imported into ports of Mexico, whilst in the occupation of the forces of the United States, whether by citizens of either republic, or by citizens or subjects of any neutral nation, the following rules shall be observed. 1. All such merchandise, effects, and property, if imported previously to the restoration of the custom houses to the Mexican authorities, as stipulated for in the third article of this treaty, shall be exempt from confiscation, although the importation of the same be prohibited by the Mexican tariff. 2. The same perfect exemption shall be enjoyed by all such merchandise, effects, and property, imported subsequently to the restoration of the custom houses, and previously to the 60 days fixed in the following article, for the coming into force of the Mexican tariff, at such ports respectively, the said merchandise, effects, and property being, however, at the time of their importation, subject to the payment of duties, as provided for in the said following article. 3. All merchandise, effects, and property described in the 2 rules foregoing shall, during their continuance at the place of importation, and upon their leaving such place, for the interior, be exempt from all duty, tax, or imposts of every kind, under whatsoever title or denomination, nor shall they be there subject to any charge whatsoever upon the sale thereof. 4. All merchandise, effects, and property, described in the first and second rules, which shall have been removed to any place in the interior, while such place was in the occupation of the forces of the United States, shall, during their continuance therein, be exempt from all tax upon the sale or consumption thereof, and from every kind of impost or contribution, under whatsoever title or denomination. 5. But if any merchandise, effects, or property, described in the first and second rules, shall be removed to any place not occupied at the time by the forces of the United States, they shall, upon their introduction into such place, or upon their sale or consumption there, be subject to the same duties which, under the Mexican laws, they would be required to pay in such cases, if they had been imported in time of peace, through the maritime custom houses, and had there paid the duties conformably with the Mexican tariff. 6. The owners of all merchandise, effects, or property, described in the first and second rules, and existing in any port of Mexico, shall have the right to reship the same, exempt from all tax, impost, or contribution whatever,